Well, welcome back to another Souls Day episode. I know it's been quite a long time since we've done one of these, and I have to admit that I've had Dark Souls 2 to myself for quite some time now. I decided to take my time and play the game at my own pace without really being rushed by anything. And as you can see, we are in things betwixt the limbo between Drang Lake and the outside world that we're not so privy to. But anyway, this is it. Dark Souls 2, and I'm playing it with you now. I know the last time we did a video related to the Souls Day, I was just talking about how it's time Dark Souls 1 passed on the baton back down to the newer generation, that the newer generation would have their time to shine and the time to live on with this new game called Dark Souls. And I guess the time has come and people are playing the game. It was received very well besides the graphical downgrade. As you can see, this was not what they promised at E3. But besides that, the game overall I feel was well done, and I'm really happy to be playing it with you guys. I know you've probably seen this game a billion times by now. I'm not the first person to record any of this footage, but I hope that if you enjoyed our previous Souls Day chat episodes, then I'm sure you might find in the future episodes that we might have something to enjoy this time. But anyway, let's hear what the Firekeepers have to say.
What seems to be the ruckus? Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you? You're finished. You go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them. Hollows prey upon them, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed. What is your name? At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy. Take a closer look. Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Well, before we get things going on, for those of you who don't know, I've always had this nagging feeling about character creation things within games. I always feel that they're half done. I believe that really more effort could be made into the character creation of each specific character you make in a specific game, but I don't know. I'm not the makers of the game, but as we all know, I like to try and put some effort, so let's get the music rolling and get this editing up and underway.
people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
And crazy old firekeepers have seen quite a lot in the past couple of days and eons, but anyway, get the DLC stuff as always. Now, before we get things underway, I would like to explain a few things to those who might not know what the Souls Day chat is all about. First of all, rule number 1 is that I play this late at night after the day is done. So if I'm a bit tired, don't be so shocked. It's just the nature of things. I usually play these games somewhat after midnight for myself, and I won't lie to you and tell you that I am fresh and lively. I'm actually very tired. I play this just for the sake of enjoyment and sharing my thoughts with you, hence why it is called a chat. The second rule is that you feel free to say whatever you want to say, as I am very open to hearing your points of view. The third rule is I may die a lot. That's just the nature of the game. And the fourth rule, we try have as much fun as possible, and I will talk about other things as time goes on. Not just playing video games and not just Souls related. That's the whole point of the chat. We are here to share whatever experience might be heading our way in real life and in the game. And I would also like to talk about the game and what I think the game means to me. That's just what it is. But anyway, let me just stop talking for a bit before I get destroyed by oh dear troll. Oh, terrible start already. I never want to really use a life gem. I know you can bait him to sit at the back, but the reason why I like bringing him here is that, especially with this build, he actually cannot hurt you, and the grabbing attack is an insta-kill, and I'm very bad at dodging that grabbing attack. But you get our first important ring right here, and that's the stone ring. The stone ring adds additional reduction to enemy poise. What you see is, if you look at the dagger, let's see. If you look down here, the dagger does a poise damage of 10. It's got that number 10 next to it. So that's how much poise damage you do. The stone ring adds a flat base damage, a flat base poise damage to that number. So it's very good in the sense that, think about it like this. If a person is wearing armor that is 40 poise and your weapon does 30 poise damage, if you therefore add this ring, and let's just say the ring adds 10 poise damage, of which I forgot the actual number, then you are able to break that person's poise and make them stagger each time you hit them. It's a really good ring if you are failing to break certain poise limits with your weapons. But besides that, it is not so useful in the event that you have a certain weapon that's good against a certain armor type that you are most faced against, whether that be PvE or PvP. So yeah, besides that, anyway, let's get through this. As I was saying, I'm going to be talking about the lore and such. One thing I would like all of you to understand is that each person is entitled to their own opinion about the lore of this game. That I understand. And what I may say to you may sound weird, like why would anyone think this, but that's just my point of view. So as the episodes roll along, as we get along into the game, hopefully you'll understand my point of view as we come across the things that made me think the way I thought. And this time around in the tutorial FromSoft actually put these stones as markers for tutorial points. It says here, bonfires are places of respite. You may also light torches by them. And in typical FromSoft fashion, troll fashion, you can actually break these without knowing, and you can't read them anymore. So, yeah, just throwing that out there for those who did not know. I don't actually want anything on top of my head. And I remember when I first saw this game at E3 a long time ago, and they were talking about the torches and how you can use them to light your path, and they're showing all these dingy, dark places, and the graphics were really good. Though that's not what we got in the end. It ended up not being a feature that was needed, as most places are actually well lit. Well lit enough to be seen, so that's a real sad point for me. Attack with right hand weapon. Wow. I didn't know. I didn't know. I kind of wish there was an achievement to light all torches, but I don't think it's actually there. For those of you who know, please fill me in on that one. But anyway, this particular tutorial really teaches you a lot. It really gets you to grips with the game. For example, here about backstabs and such. The backstab has changed from what it was in Dark Souls 1. Before, in the past, it was a single frame, well, not a single frame, but a small frame window in which you could get the backstab, in which you went into an unattackable, invulnerable state where you dealt this critical damage to your foe, and nothing could be done in terms of dealing damage to you. But after I deal with this guy, now in Dark Souls 2, what happens is, it's a three-step maneuver. First, the punch into the slap motion, if that's something I could call it, and into the stab. And during the punch and slap, you are able to be pretty much hit by any of your opponent's attacks. So keep that in mind. It's no longer as safe as it was before in the past. Take care of these guys, and of course this time around the AI has really been fine-tuned. It's not so easy to fish for backstabs, and their aim is really good actually, as you had seen by the archer there. Let's see if these the crows, and let's see if we can get something good for this petrified something that we asked as our starting gift. I would advise that you get a bonfire ascetic if you don't like to chance it with luck, because these crows could give you something really good, or they could give you something not really worth your while. In this case, it's the Channeler's Trident. I had no wanting or any reason to use the Channeler's Trident, so yeah, in this case I didn't come out so good. I got a cracked blue eye orb, which is also not so good a deal. So in this case, I would have better opted for the Bonfire Ascetic, which is an item you can use to raise the intensity of a given area that has a bonfire to the next level, hence taking it to New Game Plus. And the more Bonfire Ascetics you use, the greater the New Game Plus. So 2 Bonfire Ascetics is New Game Plus 2 etc. Let's take care of these bad boys right here. Oh my word, the tracking on these guys. And for those of you who do not know, I am playing this on keyboard and mouse, so please feel sorry for any errors I may make. Ember Herb is something that can be used to replenish spell casts, and actually that's something we're going to come into very much use of in this playthrough, as this build is, well, this is what I hope for it to become. I hope to make a Pyro Hex build, and for those of you who don't know what Hex is what's called Dark in this game. It's a mixture of sorceries and faith, and it deals dark damage, which is pretty much physical magic damage in a sense. That's my hope. And the dual wielding in this game was really improved, that I give. With the introduction of the power stance, gives multiple movesets to different dual-handed weapons. So, cracked red eye orb. This is. I'm not really sure if this is a lore point within the game or it's just from software encouraging invading of other worlds and PvP earlier on in the game. Because I would assume that someone new to the game would instantly wonder, what the hell is this? And equip it and try to use it, and as soon as you use it, you'll read this word saying invading another world, and then you should wonder to yourself, like, what? Wait, what? Invading what? I didn't mean to do it. But then you end up doing it, and you end up killing someone, getting your first token of spite. Then you soon understand that there is value in killing others for what they have in their own worlds. Another key point about the life gems is that this is one point in which From Software tries to teach you something about the life gems. The life gems heal you as long as you have HP missing. In the case that your HP is full, then you shall not be healed. The effect will instantly cancel. So in this case, if you can notice, I am hurt, and I'm gonna take damage from the fall, so I'll instantly want to use a life gem to heal proactively, and hopefully not die. As you can see, I'm healing even though I'd taken damage. Still have the effect, took way loads more damage, and hopefully if I had not used the life gem, chances are I would have died. But that did not happen. For those of you who don't know, that's the new parry animation for a two-handed dagger. That's right there. And that's what I executed on that fella. And I failed on this guy. That's not chance. That's not chance death. But instead, let's embrace life. Here we go. We have these two big fellows over here. One was already a stress for those of you who are like me. So for those of you who don't know, you can just lure them back here. If you're ranged, you can cheese them away, and I know this can be boring at times, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get by. It is that late night souls after all. While we sit here, might as well just talk about one point of view I have about this game and its story. I won't talk too much on it though. I believe there's a lot to discuss, but it's good to discuss it as it happens. I believe that the story, the key point about the story is what was said in Dark Souls 1. And what I'll say in Dark Souls 1 is that time is convoluted. You can't really make out the beginning, and you can't really make out the end. And in this case, I believe that this time we are in somewhat of a paradox. There are some characters I would like to believe are future representations of characters that you saw in Dark Souls 1, as in these are future representations of the past. But also I would like to believe that these are the alternate, what they could have been in an alternate universe. So we have two separate timelines happening. The future is happening during the past, and the future is happening after the past, and the past is happening during the present, if that makes any sense. I know I'm talking nonsense, but that's just how I feel. And I don't know. We'll see it as it happens. For those of you who don't know, this is a don't know if you can call it a transgender boat or transgender chest, something of cultural worth. If you get in here, you'll be turned into the opposite gender of what you are right now, with the exact same skin color and hopefully a similar hairstyle. But that's for those who are tired of whatever gender they have. And also, if, let's just say, you've respect a character, you've changed over their stats, and you're tired of being that same gender, you can get into that box and change over to the different gender and experience somewhat of a new character without having to start over a new game, which is somewhat decent. I would like to believe that we are indeed done with the tutorial. Let's head back over to the Firekeepers.
You must go on a... Well, I suppose. But if your will is yet unbroken, then you may return here to start again. With a clean slate.
So whenever you get an item called the Soul Vessel, you come to this Firekeeper right here. And she will be able to respec your character, redistributing your points, and remaking yourself, like she said, on a clean slate. And let's talk to her, as we've done the tutorial.
You have proven yourself to the forest. We have little to offer, except perhaps these. May they bring fortune to your journey in some small way.
Okay, let's take a look at what she just gave us. The Handmaid's Ladle. He who chooses this as a weapon either faces extenuating circumstances or has an odd sense of humor. If you care for your life, leave this one in the kitchen. This is something used to dish out soup. And as you can see, it requires 6 strength and 5 dex and only does 20 damage. So it's really bad. I honestly don't know why it was put in the game, whether it was just an Easter egg from the developers just to have fun with the players, or maybe it has some secret use. I don't know how they found it by now on the internet, I'm sure. But anyway, it's just something you get for completing the tutorial. Let's sit at the bonfire. Don't think we needed to, actually. I didn't think I have any life missing. And let's head out of things betwixt. Pretty much our job here is done. You may return to light up the candles if you want and spark up the place with the fire. But like I said, you get nothing for switching on all the fires, or so it seemed to me. So you can go ahead and try that yourself. But now the game truly begins. Let's see. And here we are. This is Majula. And this shall be our hub for quite some time. And we shall spend a lot of time here. Let's see. Pick up our Morning Star and Cleric's Chime. I actually think that will come of use to us when we get some faith. As I said, this will be a hex build. And binoculars. Binoculars, as I'll show to you as soon as I get off this ledge, are a very powerful item for spellcasters. Probably this has been shown a billion times, but I think it's good to show it as well. As you can see right now, I have no enemy to lock onto. I can just throw my spell right in front of me in the direction I'm facing, but I have no way to control where it is aimed at. But if I equip the binoculars, I can look around and cast my spell. Now I can actually aim, like for example, at that rock. So you can use it as a way of sniping your foes. Just rest at the bonfire and replenish our spell casts. Now, before we talk to the Emerald Herald, I would like to talk to our friend up here. A brother who was once in the way of blue, but now sitting
You're
here.
Undead, aren't you? You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement, a place where life is almost normal. And in Drang Lake these days, there are very few places like that.
And why is that so?
I am Solden. And like you, I lost everything. And now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody. Do you know much about souls?
Yes, I do.
Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really.
Well, from that, I don't know. Solden, I believe, though he may be our crestfallen bro here, he talks a lot of things that are very deep and hold a lot of sense, but are very unclear to make out. He says that the curse is traced straight to the soul. That we understand. Those with souls, those undead, whether God or not, have this curse of being undead, of never dying over and over again. So he says that being alive, having the soul, means you are alive, and that means walking this earth means you are already cursed. But then if we look back when the Hollows found the souls, when the Lord's souls were discovered, there was a time of prosperity. There was no undeath until Nito gave us the first death. So that's a paradox within itself, in the sense that there is a time period unaccounted for within the journey of the soul, and why this curse still exists till now. I'm honestly not too sure about what Solden tried to mean there, but I would like to ask him, if I was the undead, I would ask then, what did it mean before Nito gave us the first death, before he got the Lord's soul that granted those he chose true death? Then what?
There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now, like I have.
Well, you can see that from there, Solden did pass through things betwixt. Everyone in Drying Lake must have, I believe that who's here in Majula must have passed by things betwixt and was tested. So he passed the test, but as soon as he saw the challenge ahead, he evidently just gave up. And also he gives you a very good hint. He says there are those with giant powerful souls, and so is their curse. Their curse is powerful as well. So the stronger, from what he says, I would like to infer that the stronger your soul becomes, so does the curse. It becomes much stronger, and I believe that's where the difficulty comes in retaining yourself or losing yourself with power and becoming hollow. So it's really...
Do you ever cry out for help?
It's really murky.
You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
I would advise those, new or not, to enter this way of Blue Covenant, as he gives you a good ring for the beginning, in the sense that it's good, in the sense that you have no ring, so you better take the ring. And the reason why I say that is...
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their... Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
The reason why I say that is that, though it may not specify, let's see, Ring of the Way of the Blue Covenant, it actually does specify increases HP slightly. So right now we haven't leveled up, we're still using base HP, and any boosts are well worth it. It only weighs 0.2 units. Anyway, the way of blue is not developed. Is not a developed religion. It's a humble prayer that's spread naturally amongst those seeking help. When apostles of blue are invaded by dark spirits, they can receive assistance from masters of other worlds. So, since we've joined this way of blue covenant, every time you are online and you get invaded, there's a chance that the game will find some random person who's a blue sentinel to come into your world and help you. So I don't know. So it's okay, I guess. I never got the chance to use it myself, as no one really came. I wasn't invaded that much. Say 0 deaths worldwide because I am offline, and this on the other hand says the letters are worn beyond recognition. That's the thing I honestly don't know about the stone. I would assume that since one side of the stone tells you how many players have died over the given course of this game, the letters that are worn beyond recognition could in fact hint towards the life, like for example life that was given birth to during the same amount of time, but would never know, as life is created all the time. There's a lot of creation in everything we see. There's life spreading everywhere we go. But that's just my thought on things and why that particular mirage of letters that can't be recognized is. As we can see, there are lots more NPCs and lots more places to go. But for now, I think that's enough. I have said hello to you, and I'm glad you've made it this far. I'm sure we will continue to record. We will to find out what this triangulate of ours has to offer, and we will have some fun. More things to talk about. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.